The great thing about this story, I stepped out on faith and something happened immediately.
Eventually, you get out to LA. How many years have went by up to that point? You know, you do food snaps. How many more years you spending in out on the East Coast before you get to LA?
Well, first of all, Fubu Snaps didn't do anything for my career. I mean, that didn't change shit. You know, it made me, some niggas in the barbershop might have recognized me. That's about it. But I moved to LA in 2008. And I moved to LA based off of some things that happened for me in 2006. Quit my job. The girl I was dealing with at the time, she was like, you know, wasn't really supportive of what I was doing. She didn't think I was funny. She never said that, but I could tell. But I was working at the airport in Philly, and my workload it became too much. Like, the job was cool at first because I was flying free. Then I was like, yo, I got to get out of here. She was like, you keep complaining, just quit. I was like, nah, I'm going to quit at the end of the year. That was my goal, to quit at the end of 2006. She was like, you know, you might as well just quit. Which was surprising coming from her because she ain't really, you know, she ain't believe in me like that. So I said, all right, fuck it. I quit I quit on Halloween in 2006. I told one of the managers, I said, yo, I ain't coming in no more. He was like, nah, whatever. I said, nah, I ain't coming in no more. But I didn't go give her an official resignation because I knew it would be a minute before they realized I wasn't working no more and I could continue to fly free. So I continued to fly free for another month and a half before they put me in the system. So the great thing about this story, I stepped out on faith and something happened immediately. So anybody out there that's an entertainer, you got to know that your chances of making it by not, you know, you got to go full time or it's not going to happen. You know, but when you go full time, you gotta put your heart into this shit. So for me, I was like, yo, I'm good enough to do this. I know I can make some money. I was already working with Kev. We doing comedy clubs. My rent was nothing but fucking $500. You know, I'm living in Philly, low income housing, bullshit. I was like, I could live off this shit. So I quit maybe on a Friday. Then I spent the weekend in New York. I did a show in Indianapolis, and I spent the rest of the weekend in New York with my girl. And then Will Sylvans had a show in Brooklyn on Mondays. And I was like, yo, I want to do your spot. Because immediately I'm like, I quit. I got to start finding some work. So I went and did the spot. He had somebody hosting for him because he wasn't there. So that night he hit me like, how was it? I said, it was good. He said, are you doing a Stand Up for Diversity showcase? I was like, no, I'm not doing that shit. I said, I'm not doing no more open call shows. Mm-hmm. He was like, just go do tomorrow. I'll get you in the callback. Okay. So I said, reluctantly, I'm like, all right, whatever. Go through. It was at Caroline's early in the morning. I did like 3 minutes in front. It was just like the two people from NBC and then like comics. And they were cracking up. So they was like, okay, we're going to let y'all know we having a showcase tonight, a final showcase tonight here at Caroline's with the audience. We'll let y'all know who made it. I go to Jersey, had lunch with my mom with the Pizza Hut. I'll never forget this day. And I was like, yeah, I did good on the show. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. They called me while we was at lunch. She was like, yeah, we want you to do the showcase at Caroline's tonight. I said, all right, cool. So then I knew there was going to be a lot of industry there. So I'm thinking small. I'm like, yo, I'm going to go ahead, try to kill it, and then try to get some representation. Because that's all I really wanted was some reps. Man, it was like 12 comics. They had me go last, which I did not want to do. But the time that the comics grew depending on where you went in the show. So like the first 3 comics got 3 minutes. Okay. Then it was 4. Then it was 5 for the last couple. So I had 5 minutes. I went last. I didn't want to go last. Sink, this comedian named Sink from New York. That's my boy. It's my OG. Funny as hell. He went up. He killed it. He went on right before me. Killed it. Some of the people went outside to talk to him. I went on last, like, fuck it. Destroyed it. Destroyed that shit. So I'm like, hell yeah. I'm out in the lobby, like, smiling and fake smiling and shit. You know, like, yeah, I'm about to give me a rep. Nobody talked to me. One dude gave me his card. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I had the best set all night.
Did you find out what was maybe the reason why not?
I have no idea. They just didn't, I don't know. They just didn't want to talk to me, I guess. So I said, all right. Then they were like, we having a final showcase for the whole thing in LA. So, you know, because they did a nationwide search. I'm like, all right. So I'm hoping they're going to call me. They called me and said, you come to the final showcase. They picked 4 people from my show. And then on that show also was Lil Rel, Michelle Buteau, Eric Andre. They all made it to the finals. And then I came out here, had a long day. I got to the show late because my flight had to make an emergency landing. Somebody was sick on the plane, you know, a bunch of bullshit going on. Got there right before the show started. They had already picked numbers. I got 5 out of 10. Went up in the middle of the show, destroyed it. And nobody could follow me. After that, Lil Rel was last. I was the climax of the show. If Lil Rel had went earlier in the show, he would have had a better set. But because it was like the first couple people was kind of like, and then I got here and I killed it. Then it was just like after that was a decline. Then he had to go last, you know. So at the end of the show, finally, everybody was talking to me. All the agents, you know, I had like maybe 4 or 5 agents come up to me, managers. 3 Arts was there, who manages Kevin. APA was there, who was my agent until recently. I met with them. They was like, yeah, we want you. I was like, shh, it's finally happening. It's just starting to move, right? NBC gave me $8,500 and a 1-year holding deal.
You said 85?
8,500.
Okay.
8,500. Yeah.
That's that's kind of low.
That ain't shit. But it's a holding deal and development deal is different. Okay. So back in the day, they used to do development deals and they might give you like 250 grand. But they trying to actually develop a show around you. And this was something that was fairly new, that it was for diversity. They're just trying to find, you know, give non-white comics an opportunity to succeed. Standing for diversity. Nobody on this whole show is white. So the money was small in comparison to the development deals, but for me it was perfect because, you know, the end of 2006 going into 2007, Kevin is about to go film Fool's Gold in Australia, and I'm like, yo, I'm here. Can I house sit for you so I, you know, have a place to stay? And I had $8,500 in my pocket. He like, yeah, no problem. Leave me his car, all the shit. So now I'm banging out the clubs in LA. I'm going to auditions, stinking them up. I'm fucking bombing these auditions. I'm horrible. They put me in acting class, everything. I was horrible. And then I stayed for 2 months, and now I was like, yo, I want to move out there. I said this to myself. So I said, for the next year, I'm going to line up. I go into strategy mode. This has to happen. This has to happen. This has to happen. And then I moved to LA when these things happen. It was this thing called Comedy Knockout for Comedy Central. So if I win that, I got money to get a car. My cousin owned the house out here. She made it into 2 units. So she was talking about selling it. I said if she keep her house, I could rent out one of her units. It was only $950 a month, everything included, and I had the garage. So all of these things just kind of
all those things had to happen for you to get there, and it ended up happening. Yeah. Wow.
I claimed it. I know that shit sounds cheesy, but I knew what I wanted to do, and I said, this has to happen, this has to happen, this has to happen, and I'm moving. And I made all of those things happen. I bought me my first brand new car. I bought me an Infiniti G37. It was an '08. Bought it at the end of 2007. My dad lived in Vegas. Put the shit on my license was under his address, everything. And I moved out, and that's how I started my life in LA, '08.